All right, so section 3.3b, we're going to be solving systems of, by elimination and multiplication. Okay? Essential question, like I said, is the same as before, so we're just going to kind of get into this because we do have limited time today. So the one thing that I want you guys to know, the problem is up there. Do me a favor, do not write anything down that I'm about to do right now, okay? So anything in red, don't write it yet. Okay, if I decide to add, I want you guys just to see what happens, but don't write this down. Negative 4x plus 5x, that's a positive x. Negative 5y plus a negative y, that's a negative 6y. Did I eliminate anything? No. So that means addition doesn't work. Well then, bless you, if I subtract, negative 4x minus 5x is negative 9x. And negative 5y minus a negative y is a negative 4y. Did I eliminate anything? No. So that means that addition and subtraction will not work alone. Okay? I'm going to have to do something to fix this. Okay? The reason why it doesn't work is because I want you guys to notice how in yesterday's homework, let me go to yesterday's homework really quick. Do you notice how in yesterday's homework, like the x's matched, right? Right here, the x's, maybe they didn't match, but they kind of had the numbers at least in common, whether it was a positive or a negative, right? You notice how the 7 y's, these kind of matched, right? Even though one was positive, one was negative, but they still had the same main number, okay? So they had some stuff that was matching. If we look at the subtraction ones, look at this. Or sorry, the rest of the addition ones. Right there, 6 and negative 6, right? The numbers are still the same, just plus and minus could have differed. Right? Look right here, negative 1y, negative 1y. Right? They had things in common. But today, they don't have anything in common. The x's have a minus 4 and a 5. The y's have a minus 5 and a minus 1. They don't have anything in common. So what I have to do is force them to have something in common. My only decision that I have to make is which letter do I want to get rid of, x or y? Sorry? Y? All right. So we chose y. It doesn't matter which one you do. We just got to get rid of one. Okay? So right now someone said, right here we had Adrian tell me one, sorry, not one, y. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the negative 5 right here. And I'm going to put it over here. Okay, I'm going to write it down. Negative 5. And then I'm going to get the negative 1. And I'm going to put it up here. Negative 1. And I'm going to multiply basically like a big distribution. I'm going to create brand new equations. Okay? Using those numbers up there. So this negative 1 is going to multiply here, here, and there. Okay, I'm going to erase those lines right now because it's going to get really messy. But those numbers are going to multiply in. All right, so here we go. Negative 1 times negative 4 is 4x. Negative 1 times negative 4x is 4x. Negative 1 times negative 5y is positive 5y. Negative 1 times negative 7, positive 7. All right, so far it looks almost the same. Okay, a little different, but almost the same. Now let's multiply the negative 5 here, here, and there. Okay, so negative 5 times 5x is negative 25x. Negative 5 times negative y, positive 5y. Negative 5 times 16, that's negative 80. So now the question is, do I have matching coefficients for the y value? Yeah, 5 and 5, right? They match. So how do I get rid of them? If it's 5y and 5y, should I add them to get rid of them or subtract them to get rid of them? I'm going to subtract. All right. All right, now let's do our subtraction. 4x minus a negative 25x. That's 29x. Because remember, minus a negative means plus. Right? Minus a negative means plus. So that means 4x plus 25x. 5y minus 5y, 0. 7 minus a negative 80. 80. That's 87. Yeah, 87. Because it's minus a negative, right? That's always tricky with the subtraction. Minus a negative. All right. How many times does 29 go into 87? 3 times, yeah. It's going to be 3 times. X equals 3. All right, good. So now all I have to do is get that x equal to 3 and plug it into one of the original equations. Which one do you want to do, the top one or the bottom one? I like the bottom one a little bit more. There's less stuff. The top, there's nothing wrong with it. But I just like that the bottom one, this one right here, has like less stuff in it, right? So let me go with that one. Again, there's nothing wrong with either one. I just want to do less work if possible. So I'm going to choose the bottom one, and I'm going to let x equal to 3. So 5 times 3 minus y equals 16. All right? And now I'm just going to start solving for y. So 5 times 3 is 15 minus y equals 16. I'll subtract 15 on both sides. So I get negative y equals to 1. And if I divide both sides by negative 1, I get my answer of y equals negative 1. So my solution for this problem is 3, negative 1. I'm going to kind of zoom out a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to zoom out so you guys can kind of see all the work. All right, so that's example 1. Here's example 2. Let me zoom in a little bit. Here's example 2. So negative x plus 2y equals 1. 3x minus 15y equals to negative 30. Remember, I'm just going to show it one more time, and then I won't do it next time. Don't write this down, what I'm about to do. If I were to add, okay, then negative x plus 3x is 2x, and 2y plus negative 15y is negative 13y. Nothing eliminates, so that's not a good thing. So then that means we try subtracting. But when I subtract, negative x minus 3x is negative 4x, and 2y minus negative 15y is positive 17y. Nothing went away. Okay? That's how you know you need to multiply first. Because you added, you subtracted, it didn't work, so that means I got to do something else. Okay? So, now comes the choice, which letter do I want to get rid of, x or y? Now remember, the way I would make the decision is I look at the numbers in front of the x values, I look at the numbers in front of the y values, and I ask myself which ones are smaller overall. The x's, right? The x has a minus 1 and a 3. The y has a 2 and a negative 15. I'd rather do small numbers because I'm going to have to multiply. Okay? So I'm gonna get rid of the x values. Okay? So I'm going to kind of do it the way I did it last time. I'm going to put parentheses around everything. I'm going to highlight the coefficient in front of the x. I'm going to put it right here. Okay? I'll highlight the coefficient in front of the other x, and I'll put it right here. Okay? I'm color coding it so you guys can follow along, like what happened, how did that come from there? Well, this came from here, right? Like hopefully the colors kind of help you see it. So 3, negative 1. Remember, you're going to distribute. You're going to do this huge distribution, right? I'm going to erase the lines right now, but you're doing this huge distribution for the whole equation. So let's do that. 3 times negative x, negative 3x. 3 times 2y, positive 6y. 3 times 1, that's 3. Now let's do the negative 1 portion. Negative 1 times 3x, negative 3x. Negative 1 times negative 15y, positive 15y. And negative 1 times negative 30, positive 30. Are we okay with that? Just the multiplication? Again, that's the hard part, okay? Once you get to that, the next step is what we did yesterday. Either add or subtract. What should I do to get rid of a negative 3x and a negative 3x, sorry. A negative 3x and a negative 3x. How did I get rid of them? Do I add them or do I subtract them? I'm going to want to subtract them because I got to change the sign on the bottom one. So I'm going to put minus. All right? So negative 3x minus negative 3x. That basically becomes negative 3x plus 3x. That's 0. Okay? So that's good. We got rid of something. That's what we're trying to do. And then 6y minus 15y. Well, that's negative 9y. Okay? And then 3 minus 30, negative 27. All right, so to get y by itself, I need to divide by negative 9. So negative 9, negative 9. So I get y is equal to 3. All right, so all you have to do is get your y equal to 3 and plug it into any one of the two original equations. Which one do you guys like, the top or the bottom? Top, all right. I'm hearing top, so here we go. Negative x plus 2y equals 1. I like that one too. The numbers are smaller. I'm going to plug in y equal to 3, so negative x plus 2 times 3 equals to 1. So 2 times 3 is 6, so negative x plus 6 equals 1. If I subtract 6 on both sides, I get negative x equals to negative 5. I want x to be positive, so let's make it. That means everything has to change signs. So x is equal to 5. And now I got my answer. 3, 5. You guys have any questions on these two? I know we still have 13 minutes. I just want to show you one more. We might go a little faster on this one, but we'll see. Oh, thank you. Yes, it should be 5-3. Was that your comment as well? Okay, thank you very much. I wrote them backwards. We solved for y first, so this should be here, and then the x was second. That should go there. There you go. Thank you very much. Yeah, make sure I give you guys something for noticing that. So, are we okay with that? I'll just pretend that I did that on purpose to see if anybody was listening. Right? But, all right. Here's the last one. I don't know if we're going to be able to finish it, but I at least want to get it to the point where it's ready to be done. Okay, because I know we only have 12 minutes. All right? What do you guys notice about this one, though?
The y is on the other side.
Oh, for the top, the y is on the right side and the number's on the left. It's on the opposite side, right? And what about the second one? Anything kind of weird that you see? Is the x and the y in like the normal position? No, they're kind of flipped, right? So we gotta notice that because you're gonna have two problems that are gonna look normal and then two problems that are gonna be mixed up. You're gonna have to fix them first. You're gonna have to write them out properly, and then you can do the work. Okay? So This problem is going to be a little bit on the lengthier side, and like I said, I'm more interested in just fixing it so it looks right, and then if we run out of time, you guys can work on it on your own. But I just want to make sure we fix it. So first, let's fix the top equation. Remember, x and y need to be on the left. The number needs to be on the right. So let me move the number first. Minus 5 on both sides. So I get negative 12x equals 10y minus 5. Now to get my y value on the correct side, I'm going to have to subtract 10y on both sides. So I get negative 12x minus 10y equal to negative 5. Now it's fixed. Okay? It is now in the right order. X, y, and a number. Now let me do the other equation. Negative 5y minus 6x equals negative 4. This one's a little easier. I'm just going to switch them. Negative 6x minus 5y equals negative 4. Okay? All right, so I'm going to do a real quick line here just to kind of say like, okay, let's get started. Here are my two equations. Negative 12x minus 10y equals negative 5. And negative 6x minus 5y equals negative 4. So we're pretending to be just barely starting now, okay? Do my x's, if I add or subtract, this is not going to work, okay? I'm just telling you now. Okay, if I put plus, it's going to still have an x and a y. If I put a minus on it, it's still going to have an x and a y. So that means I got to multiply. Which one do you guys want me to multiply, or which one do you want me to get rid of, the x or the y variables?
Y.
The y's, I like those two. 5 and 10 is a lot more fun than 6 and 12. Those are easier numbers to multiply by. So I'm going to get rid of the y's, okay? So I'm going to get the minus 5, and I'm going to put it over here. And then I'm going to get the minus 10, and I'm going to put it right here. I'm hoping we can finish because something interesting happens with this one. So minus 5 goes here, minus 10 goes there. All right, let's multiply. Negative 5 times negative 12, that's a positive 60x. Negative 5 times a negative 10 is a positive 50y, equals to negative 5 times negative 5, 25. All right, now let's do the bottom one. Negative 10 times negative 6, that's 60x. Negative 10 times negative 5y, that's a positive 50y, equal to negative 10 times negative 4, that's 40. Should I add or subtract?
Subtract.
Let's subtract. What happens when I subtract? Everything is gone, and all I have is a negative 0 equal to a negative 15. Oh, what do I do now?
False.
That's false, which means
No solution.
no solution. So yes, you can still get those kind of answers. All right? All right, so this is what your homework is.